So at the heart, it is a philosophy at first. So a philosophy is a way of examining or finding out, creating knowledge around things that are too abstract to measure. Where science uses observation and measurement to figure stuff out. Philosophy, like, how do you measure the experience of meaning? How do you measure free will? How do you measure what existence is? So, in the face of a lack of measurement tools, philosophy was a set of thinking tools that could help us to create knowledge. And that's why the importance of philosophy has declined over the last 2,000 years, 3,000 years. And science has kind of taken over because our measurement tools became so much more sophisticated. We can now measure people's experience of meaning in an empirical way. That was just unthinkable 2,000 years ago. So people used philosophy. And so first and foremost, it's a philosophy. It's a philosophy that has at the core the question of what is existence? What is human lived experience? What is the human condition? What does it mean to just be, to just be there? First and foremost, Sartre said, existence precedes essence. First and foremost, we are just there. And then we are a teacher, or we are a mom, or we are a politician, or we are funny, or we're rich. All of these things are layered on top of this experience of being there, of being in the world, being alive in the world with other people. So if we use philosophy, and existential philosophers have long thought about that, if we use that kind of process to try to get closer to an answer of that question, then the philosophers have arrived at four kind of existential conditions. The results of being alive and in a world with other people. And they are around freedom and death or ending, so temporality. Our life at some point in its form right now will cease to be in this form, and whether there's a life after death or not, things end. Everything ends. That meaninglessness, or meaning, that there's this idea of nothingness at the core of existence. There's just we can never know for sure whether our life overarchingly has any sort of meaning. We like to make meaning. We're these meaning making machines. Humans just try to figure stuff out. That's why we made it so far as a species. We try to figure things out and solve problems and make sense of stuff. But ultimately, we can't know whether there's any ultimate meaning of life, or a meaning to our existence. We can make a pretty good guess. We can have faith, but we will just never know. So the argument is that meaninglessness is one of the givens of being human. We can put meaning on top of that, but like at the core, we can't know. And there's the sense of isolation, that every human being is unique. So it's part of the fabric of human existence, is that we're ultimately quite alone in terms of our existential isolation, not in terms of the physical isolation. We can, be, but like nobody is the same as us. Nobody can really truly get what you're experiencing. Nobody, like you can use words or like trying to somehow explain or make art or write a song or like really try to capture your human experience. And we've been doing that for forever. We've been trying to communicate what it's like to be me, but nobody, like, we can resonate. You might resonate with something, but you can never fully appreciate how I'm experiencing life.
Yeah.
It'll always be different. It's impossible to one transmit it. Irvin Yalom once wrote, I've forgotten which book it was, but he said, we as human beings, we have an experience and then we try to translate that into a thought, and then we translate the thought into language, and then we communicate that, and the other person has to take the language, put it back into thoughts, and then we translate it back into an image, into this experience. So we can never really fully transmit an image or an experience as it is. We can only ever get sort of close, and that's at the core the existential isolation. Like we're born alone, we die alone. Like nobody can ever be fully understand what it's like to be me.
Mm.
So yeah, in a longer nutshell, I guess that's what existentialism is about. It's a philosophy that's trying to figure out and create some knowledge around what it means to be human in the world with other people.